Hello fighters! Rustmarrow here, and today we're going to be opening one of the brand new start decks of the Cardfight Vanguard Reboot, the Royal Paladin Stardrive Dragon Start Deck. So this start deck alongside with the Kagero Crested Dragon one are currently being given away as part of the Vanguard Spring Caravan event, which just got kickstarted in Singapore. So earlier today I dropped by one of my local card shops and I got a chance to demo the brand new Cardfight Vanguard format and rules, and basically got one of these decks for free. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get right into this opening. We are starting off with the Grade 0, the starter card, Grime. And yeah, he's just the typical Grade 0 starter with 6k attack power, and his skill is, when you ride over him, you get to draw one card. So of course, right after the starter, we get to take a look at the triggers. So we're starting off with the heal trigger, which is going to be a new artwork for the Yggdrasil Maiden Elaine. Really nice to see all of the old cards transformed into the new cards for the new format like this. I really love all the fan service and the nostalgia back from when I first started Vanguard. But yeah, as you can see on the left over here, heal triggers now are actually 20,000 shield. I'm not sure if I assume all heal triggers will be like that. Yeah, for the new format. So we've got 4 copies of Elaine, and of course the draw trigger, we've got a new version of Margal, but same as the old format, draw triggers are just worth 5k shield. So there'll be another 4 copies of that. And up next we've got critical trigger in the form of Flogal. So the first thing you'll notice is that now the critical triggers are worth 15k shield, and because 10 triggers are no longer part of the game, Flogal has been converted into a critical trigger as well. So we've got 4 copies of this as well. And the final critical trigger, of course, I bet you guys have been expecting it, the bringer of good luck, Epona. So just like a Flogal worth 15k shield nowadays, pretty solid, in order to keep up with the new trigger boost of 10k and all the imaginary gift stuff, yeah. So we're moving on into the great ones finally. So this is the Swift Knight Anil. So his rearguard ability is when he attacks a Vanguard, this unit actually gets 3000 attack during the battle. And as you can see, for a grade 1, his shield has been increased to 10k as well. So I think there are 4 copies of Anil as well, from what I remember of the demo fight earlier today. And here, so yes, another grade 1 here. We have the Knight Squire Alan. So he's going to be the 8k vanilla, and just like Anil, he's going to be a grade 1 with 10k shield. So I think that's another 4 copies of that. And of course, we've got our good old friend Wingal also boasting 10k shield. Quite similar to his old incarnations, his rearguard ability is when he boosts a Vanguard, during that battle your unit gets an additional 5k power. So it's essentially a 12k booster for your Vanguard. And we're only getting 2 copies of this. And of course, these start decks were nice enough to give us 4 copies of the Perfect Guard. So here we have the Stalwart Knight Lunoria. So just like the Perfect Guards we've had before, basically you put this card in the Guardian Circle, you discard a card from your hand, and then your unit or your Vanguard won't be able to get hit during that battle. So now we are moving on into the Grade 2s. So now we have the Faithful Knight Belgius, and her rearguard skill is when your Vanguard is Grade 3 or above, this unit gets plus 3000 power. So even though she's a Grade 2 with a skill, she actually has base 10k power. So that's some changes to the Grade 2 power mechanic, power balance. And up next we've got another Grade 2 with a skill that also has 10k base power, and this is going to be Jaren, the Sage of Literature Weapons. And his ability is when his rearguard ability is when this boosted card attacks a Vanguard, you can counter blast 1 to give him plus 10k power for that battle. So I'm assuming they are going to keep Marin for the Aichi starter deck, so they had to give us another Sage instead for now. And so we only had 3 copies of that. And up next we've got a grade 2 with 10k base, but this time it's going to be the vanilla Silent Knight Gallatin. I bet we all know this card by now, but because he doesn't have ability, even though he's a grade 2, he actually gets 10k. So it seems like from now on the grade 2s that have skills are just going to have 10k, and the sort of vanilla grade 2 will have 10k power as well, but it'll also be a stronger interceptor, which is quite interesting to think about. And now we are moving on to the grade 3s, and I want you guys to check out that imaginary gift force symbol right there. So up first we have the grade 3 Knight of Unity Firno, and her base power is 13k, which is going to be typical of the grade 3s in this new Vanguard Reboot. She doesn't have any skills, but the text just there is when you ride into her, you can add one of the imaginary gift force to your field. So we've got 4 copies of that, basically just the extra grade 3. And after her we are going to take a look finally at the boss of this start deck, which takes its name from this card and is basically Stardrive Dragon. So similar to Firno, you get the Imaginary Gift 4 since it's all the same clan, and its Vanguard and Rearguard skill. When this card attacks a Vanguard, if you have 3 or more Rearguards, this card gets plus 3k power. So it's essentially a 16k, which can be helpful depending on your boost. So we are gonna get 4 copies of that as well, and even though it has a skill, it's also base 13k just like Firno. Alright, and that'll be all for the main cards in the deck. Up next, we are gonna be able to take a look at the Imaginary Gift cards. I mean, they look really nice, I have to say. I really like the symbol, although I think Force, Excel and Protect all have this same symbol, which I think, I mean, it would have been cooler if like they came out with single symbols for all of them instead of like having just one Imaginary Gift symbol, but oh well. But basically they gave us 3 copies of Force to use in our deck. I mean, just now at the match, right, to end up using 4, so yeah, so basically what Force does is you can put you can put the Imaginary Gift Force on one of the circles on your field, and the unit on that circle will basically gain 10k power during your turn. So I guess that'll be all for this Start Deck Royal Paladin opening. So do like this video if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment in the comment section down below letting me know how hyped you are for the Vanguard Reboot and what are your thoughts on it so far. For example, in terms of like the new mechanics like Imaginary Boost and the changes in like the power balance, like in the power levels of the units of the different grades themselves, and the increased shield numbers as well. Of course, I will definitely be trying to get the Kagero crested version of this start deck as well, and I think I should be able to get it around maybe next weekend or the following weekend, so you can definitely look forward to me opening that on this channel as well. And if I have the time, I definitely want to do like a demo fight between this Royal Paladin deck and the Kagero start deck. Not only that, but I will be following all the brand new releases for this Cardfight Vanguard Reboot, for the Japanese card game at least, so do subscribe if you guys want to watch me open the brand new Sendo Aichi and Kai Toshiki starter decks, and after that the Q4 Booster Pack 1, and all the brand new Vanguard V-Series releases that will come after that on the day of release. Vanguard has always been my second favorite card game right behind Yu-Gi-Oh! But I sort of fell out of it after the transition from like the Legion Mate era to the G era, when like I felt that the power creep really made the game stop becoming enjoyable for me. So I'm really glad to see, like I'm really hyped about this brand new Cardfight Vanguard Reboot, and really excited to see how this will pan out in the future, especially with the reboot of the story in the anime following the manga storyline this time instead. As for what I think of the game so far, I'm going to reserve my judgment until I get the Aichi and Kai starter decks, but based on the demo fights I had today, I gotta say, I think it's a lot more fun than what it used to be. And with that, hope to see you guys in the next Vanguard video. Even if I have to bleed, break your spell, Vanguard, the dark will drown this.